Well, now, just let me remind you of the evidence that has been given before this court, that as far as Auschwitz alone is concerned, that 4 million people were exterminated. Remember that?
Das habe ich nur als Behauptungen hier gehört. Für mich ist es keinesfalls erwiesen, diese Zahl.
And you remember, then let me give it to you from him, if you don't consider it proved, let me remind you of the affidavit of Hertels, who was the deputy group leader of the foreign section, of the security section of Amt 4 of the RSHA. He says that approximately 4 million Jews had been killed in the concentration camps, while an additional 2 million met death in other ways. Assume that these figures, one is a Russian figure, the other is the German figure. Assume that they're even 50% correct, that after all it's both sides. Assume that it was 2 million and 1 million. Are you telling this tribunal that a minister with your power in the Reich could remain ignorant that that was going on?
Das behaupte ich, und gerade deshalb, weil das so war, wurden vor mir diese Sachen geheim gehalten. Ich bin sogar der Meinung, dass nicht einmal der Führer annähernd von diesem Ausmaß etwas gewusst hat. Das spricht auch dafür, dass Himmler diese Sachen außerordentlich geheim gehalten hat. Es sind uns niemals Zahlen oder irgendwie in dieser Richtung etwas zugestellt worden.
But witness, haven't you access to the foreign press, a press department in your ministry, to foreign broadcasts? See, there is evidence that altogether, when you take the Jews and other people, something like 10 million people have been done to death in cold blood, apart from those who were killed in battle. Something like 10 million people. You said that you never saw or heard from the foreign press and broadcast that this was going on?
Erstens mal ist mir die Zahl 10 Millionen in keiner Weise erwiesen. Zum Zweiten habe ich während des ganzen Krieges keine Auslandspresse gelesen, weil ich das doch nur für Propaganda gehalten habe. Zum an sich berechtigt, für meine Person Auslandssender zu hören, habe sie aber niemals benutzt, weil ich ebenfalls diese Propaganda nicht hören wollte. Ich habe auch inländische Propaganda nicht angehört.
Well, now,
Erst in den letzten 4 Tagen des Krieges habe ich zum ersten Mal, und das könnte ich unter Beweis stellen, den Auslandssender eingeschaltet.
You told Mr. Justice Jackson yesterday that you had your there were various representatives in Eastern territories, and you've seen the films of the concentration camps, haven't you, since this trial started? You know that there were millions of garments, millions of shoes, 20,952 kilograms of gold wedding rings, 35 wagons of furs, all that stuff which these people who were exterminated at Majdanek or Auschwitz left behind them. Did nobody ever tell you under the development of the 4-year plan or anyone else, that they were getting all these amounts of human material? Remember, we heard from the Polish Jewish gentleman who gave evidence that all he got back from his family, of his wife and his mother and his daughter, I think, were their identity cards. His work was to gather up their clothes. And he told us that so thorough were the henchmen of your friend Himmler that the women took 5 minutes extra to kill because they had to have their hair cut off in order to make mattresses. Remember that, witness? Was nothing ever told to you about this accretion to German material which came from the effects of these people who were murdered?
Nein, und wie stellen Sie sich bitte das vor? Ich habe die großen Richtlinien für die deutsche Wirtschaft gegeben. Dazu gehörte nicht das Matratzen oder sonst wie Anfertigung von Frauenhaaren oder die Verwendung alter Schuhe und Kleider. Ich lasse mal die Zahl vollständig dahingestellt. Ich möchte auch hier einen Einspruch gegen Ihren Ausdruck erheben, mein Freund Himmler.
Well, you choose the word. I'll say your enemy Himmler, or I'll say simply Himmler, whichever you like. You know who I mean, don't you?
Jawohl.